We're back. We're back. It's another week. And someone went home. Thank you. Finally. Thank you. It still meant that we had 36 damn looks for the fucking ball, but whatever. It's fine, RuPaul. We forgive you, I guess. Because this episode was good. But hello. Welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. I am drinking out of my shocker, Corey King tumbler. Shake That Ice that's almost gone because we were sitting here for a second before we started the podcast. I'm drinking a beautiful, lovely peanut butter honey iced latte today. Trying something different, and I love it. And it gets me a little bit of added protein into my diet. So we love that. You could drink things out of other mugs as well, and that does include a cup mug. One of these days, River will have one too.
I don't believe it.
I don't. I
at this point,
I think it's lost.
It wouldn't surprise me. But you could get your cup mug and all of our other merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link is down in the description below. We do ship domestically within North America and internationally, so there are no excuses. Unless there's excuses, then whatever. Y'all know.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I decided to not wear an American drag queen shirt today. I never got to wear this on the podcast. I'm wearing my Perla shirt.
Oh no! Wait, where's my
Most of us love Perla. I don't know about River. River?
Where's my?
I'm on the fence.
That's good. I didn't expect that. But I am just drinking a Monster right now because I need to wake up.
Ooh, is it the mango one?
It is. Oh, it's so good. Mango Loco.
Goated.
So good.
Perla hat.
Yes.
Period. I'm not wearing.
I don't have merch, but I do have some love for
Great.
You know.
I'm wearing my signed Delta Work hat today, though. So I did show up with some merch and my Manila fan, because why not?
Yes, all of the queens. I live.
Hi,
I'm River, your Brazilian correspondent here on The Cup, and it is still summer for me. So will always be drinking the most water that I can possibly can.
And it's winter, and I will be doing the same. Because despite it being winter, it is almost 80 degrees Fahrenheit today.
I mean, you live in the desert, so it's, you know.
Correct. I do. Yes, we are here. It is episode 6 of RuPaul's Drag Race season 17. What an episode.
I know.
We got a lot to talk
Can
about.
I issue a warning for the viewers?
Oh, goodness. Okay.
If you are worried about seeing any bias towards Arietti, let me just warn you, you might want to tune out. You might not want to watch this episode.
If you are worried about any bias towards Corey King, I will be realistic in this episode.
And I am here to represent the Corey King haters. So you know what? We have balance.
Fair.
Yeah.
But yes, it was a good episode. We're going to talk all about it. Before we do, though, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time, giving you almost all things drag race, interviews, all that lovely kind of stuff. And make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access. And we've got a lot of fun Patreon stuff coming your way soon. So stay tuned, period. We come back in. No one went home.
This time I'm not upset because, well, you know.
Given what we got out of Arietti in this episode, I'm not mad she went home.
Look, to me, it's not even because of this episode. It's because I don't think she should have been lip syncing last episode.
No.
Therefore, yes. I was happy that she was the one that was saved with the badonkadonk that I said in the first episode I did not like. But just because, you know, I didn't
And
want
we
to.
got the twist out of the way early, so that's
Yeah.
good.
Exactly.
And I think it's because Michelle didn't want to. Like, I honestly feel like Michelle just was like, I don't want to be doing this every episode. We got to get it out quick. I don't want to be doing this for 10 episodes.
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
come on.
I'm at least glad for Michelle's sake.
But Arietti did talk about her tattoo, and I heard about this before the season. She has that 17 tattoo, like it is her lucky number. So it really did work out well that it was her, like, because what else was she going to pick? She was going to go for the 17 of it
Well,
all.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes. She's happy to be saved. I do love that just as equally, Lydia's like, I'm happy she's here, but I'm also very proud to have beaten Arietti in a lip sync. And she certainly did. And I loved every moment of it.
And she should be proud because she, like, when I saw what the song was and who was lip syncing to it, I was like, oh, okay. But then she ate, and I was not expecting it. I love to be surprised, so I was happy she won. Because as also, like, she gagged the girls, like she maybe proved some of the girls wrong that were maybe thinking that she couldn't perform that well. So good for her.
And then she literally disappeared for the rest of the episode.
You all know how, like, the little clip of her, like, doing the thing, like, looking at RuPaul and then RuPaul doing it back.
Absolutely.
I was like, what does this remind me of? But it finally clicked in my head the other day.
Uh-huh.
Have you all seen the gif of, like, a cat, like, making a little movement and then Shaq?
Yes! Yes!
Yes, that's what it reminds me of. The cat doing it and Shaq doing it back.
And, you know, somehow that it does feel very Lydia coded.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at that comparison whatsoever. I live. The girls are congratulating Susie on her win and still talking shit about her outfit that was not that bad.
And at this moment, I was thinking, like, I didn't say this last episode, but when I saw this episode in the beginning, I was like, did these girls not watch season 5? Did they not watch season 5 and see Relaska talks coming for Jinx for not having the best outfits and then Jinx just annihilating everyone? Like, did they not? Did they watch the show, Tamar? I'm like,
yes, I think
going on
meta at this point.
Anyway.
I don't think it's gotten to that level though, because I don't.
No. I'm just saying like the underestimating part, not like coming for her. No.
And my favorite part of this whole situation is all of the girls in this moment filming this season were like, oh, Susie's runways are so bad. Oh, Susie's runways are the worst. Cut to the fans literally living for Susie and most of what she's worn on the runway. And I'm like,
excluding this episode, on my part at least. But like, yes, so far, yes.
Ooh.
Oh.
I mean.
Interesting. We'll talk about it.
See, I thought this was a step up for her with the runway looks, but we'll get into it.
Some.
Mostly in look.
We had 3 looks. So it's, you know.
It's very that. I do love. We get a quote from Acacia, who is still so funny to me. I'm loving Acacia. I'm sad that they are literally trying to find any excuse to send her home, even though I thought this was going to be their week to send her home.
Me too.
We'll talk about it. But she goes, you know that Lydia was wearing the same shoes in the challenge, but she was an 80-year-old. Like, talking about, because someone was like, Susie's shoes. And I was like, why are we, like, I'm glad you clocked it, but like, oh. Come on, cat. Oh my God, it's living in lavish luxury. Yeah.
It is. It's Lily.
Period. We haven't seen her since UK season 6. But yeah, whatever. They're doing their thing. We come back into the workroom the next day. The girls are talking, you know, someone's finally going home. The badonkadunk is done. Someone's going home. And I don't remember who it was, but someone asked Hormona to ask her psychic who's going next. And all she said was, I'll miss you, Sam.
And at that moment, yeah, that was the moment.
Wow.
That,
that's hilarious. I did not think about it.
Foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
She sure will miss Sam.
That's so funny. I literally did not even like register
It's
that.
one of those like reality TV things that I just pick up on now because I've watched so much of Drag Race that it's just like, oh no, I see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I clocked immediately when in the first 5 minutes of the episode, they gave Hormona 3 confessionals. I was like, yep, it's her time.
I was like, either
Walk
she's
in for
gonna
work.
do something really different and win, or she's going home. Like either or.
Yeah.
No middle ground. Yeah.
See, I think just every episode, I have it in my mind. Oh, they want to get rid of Acacia. I don't know why I
Right.
thought that.
They
like, since
do.
the
No,
beginning.
they do. I
But
fully
they
feel that way.
do.
But they can't. Because she's not
But
letting
they
them.
literally can't because she's performing so well. And I love this, like, and someone brought it up in our comments, and I love it. The trope of the girl you think should go home first, and you expect to go home first, but keeps delivering over and over and over again. And at this point, I'm like, let Acacia go as far as she possibly fucking can. I want to see it. I want to see her go not dangerously far, but like I would like to see her make it to like top 8, top 7 at this point.
I think they used Charity as an example, and I do remember that premiere after the talent show. I'm like, well, she's going home first. Which is funny. When I met Charity, she actually brought up me talking about her in that premiere. She's like, "Oh, I know you didn't like me at first," and she said that she like watches frequently a clip of me talking about how she walks down the runway in like that first episode, how she did that.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, Charity, I'm sorry."
We love Chara. We love Chara. But we get a mini challenge. What?
I live.
What a novel, unique concept for this season of Drag Race. A mini challenge?
I mean, the season has been packed though. Like I understand, maybe they did mini challenges for other episodes, but because the episode was so packed with other things, maybe they didn't air it.
No quick drag ones, because we would have seen.
But I love that they did quick drag 5 minutes, because then
5 minutes.
No one can look good. Like.
Is Lana the only person that won a mini challenge before this episode?
The first one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because they did.
No one knew what was happening.
The mini challenge that wasn't a mini challenge. I mean, I fully expect we'll get the reading challenge at some point, maybe next week. I wouldn't mind it next week personally, because I feel like these girls are going to be shady as hell to each other. But yes, we get, as I've dubbed it, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glory Hole Race. Start your glory.
The doors Joella has opened.
The doors, and don't forget the Ella.
I will, but I'm saying good, iconic,
Glorella.
Iconically bad.
No, but we are transferring Anastasia Beverly Hills lipsticks through a glory hole, and of course they've made these girls do 5-minute quick drag, and here comes Norvina. I was like, y'all are shady.
Incredible.
Incredible.
In last week's runway theme, she could have walked the runway last week in that look. Hello.
It was better than most
and she would
of
have
the other girls wore.
I would hope so.
Well,
I do love as they're getting ready that Lexi is just like, the girls always look like this to me. They always look like shit. And I love Lexi in confessionals because she's leaning into the anti-grandma. You can see the point in the season where she's leaned into the anti-grandma, where she's like, the girls always look like shit. And it's just like lean back with her giant nails that she has to put on every day in confessional. And I feel for her. But it's just this lean back and this arm movement, like just the ha, and I live for it.
Attitude is everything.
The attitude, the charisma, uniqueness, the nerve, and the talent.
Exactly.
But yeah, the girls are doing their glory holes.
This
They're
was
doing
fun
the
to
glory
watch.
hole thing.
I love a silly, fun, chaotic mini challenge. I live.
Hormona's falling over.
That was
Hormona just
with the hands behind her back, like, and not being able to support herself. Like, oh my god.
Was that part of the challenge?
Because you couldn't. Because you could only use. I don't know if you. Because you can use.
I don't know if you
have
to though. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, it seems like some of the other girls were using them to balance, but whatever. It doesn't matter. We get 6 people winning a mini challenge. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Anya, Susie, Lexi, Sam, Acacia, and Lydia all win the mini challenge, and they each win their share of $3,000, courtesy of Anastasia Beverly details.
They're just trying to balance things. We're 6 episodes in. Now we have 7 mini challenge winners. So
Sure.
Right.
Make that balance make sense.
But there was a moment.
Lots of half points in the draft.
I lived for it. I got a full point out of this mini challenge, and I said, thank you.
I got none.
You got none?
Nope, because I just have Ariete and Lana, and they were on the losing team.
Gag.
But when they were pronounced the winner, Ru asked, "What do you attribute to your success?" And I don't know who said it, but 2 people said it.
Acacia.
Okay, said my mother. I screamed. That was so funny to me.
Honestly, I might be Team Acacia now. Like she's
growing on me. She's growing
on me a lot. Like her drag is good and she's funny and she's beating all of the expectations that everyone had for her. Like she's growing on me.
She's under the radar, but like she's not doing the best at any of the challenges, but she's also not flopping at anything. So like that's consistent.
Absolutely. But we find out that the maxi challenge is the ball. Woo.
Love a ball challenge.
Love balls. At least I do. It is
the challenge on Drag Race. Absolutely.
It's the Let's Get Sickening ball. With our categories being Bathing Beauties, Sea Creature Couture, and Sea Sickening Eleganza, where they're making garments out of garbage from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. And this
RuPaul is helping create. Every time that RuPaul mentions nature, I want to scream because I hate it so much. Like I cannot, it is so sad that a person that is so important to our community in so many ways is also destroying our fucking future. Like that is very bleak to me. But anyway, I just needed to get that out because it's so frustrating. But anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
And Lucky was rolling over in her grave.
You were saying, David? I'm sorry.
Oh, I said Lucky was rolling over in her grave when she found out what the challenge was.
Right.
I felt so bad for Lucky. I was like, y'all couldn't have done this. I wouldn't have minded 6 extra looks. Y'all couldn't have done this episode 3.
Yeah. Anyway.
She would have ate it up.
Yeah.
Especially because we already
do well, I don't think. So.
Yeah, we already know what one of her looks would have been. It's a shark in the bikini. That was going to be her bikini look, and I love that look so much.
Yeah.
She had she posted her sea creature, like part of her sea creature look on Twitter as well. And it was supposed to be this like, I don't know exactly what sea creature it was, but it was this like jellyfish kind of looking thing that lit up. Like there were LEDs in the garment. And I'm like,
she was robbed. We were robbed, you know?
Ariete was robbed.
Well.
When?
Of time with Lucky.
Oh, I think she's doing just fine without that time with Lucky, David. I think she's doing just fine. Probably. I love Jules when the girls are running for their stuff. Jules just casual Jules mention where she's like, yeah, I have webbed feet and I swim like a fucking superstar. Thank you for that, Jules. So she's got webbed feet. She's got webbed feet, a bionic spine. What else are we going to learn about this woman? Like,
it's wild.
It's wild. And then we get some, people are starting to put together their stuff. Lexi in confessionals talking about how she's focusing on this big blue tarp. Foreshadowing, anyone? Foreshadowing.
I did think it was funny when she saw that Sam also had something similar. She's like, "Oh no, we better not be doing the same thing." In knowing now what Lexi was making, like, why would she even assume Sam would come up with that? Like, is that
The way
Sam's
Sam would
aesthetic at
never
all?
wear anything like that ever. I cannot see Sam wearing that anything
No.
similar to what she
Oh,
wears.
at all.
Oh, at all, ever.
Oh, at all.
I understand. Here's the thing. I understand not wanting to use the same material as the person that won the last sewing challenge. Because
I definitely get
if
it.
they can tell, if the judges can tell that you use the same material, they will immediately and naturally compare both looks. So from that point of view, I understand her thoughts. I don't know.
Yeah.
But not because
I
they
do
were
love
going to
their
go for the same concept, because they are very different queens.
Yeah. I do love their back and forth where they were like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? A ball gown. Shocker. Shocking the world. Slay the world. I'm like, it did not surprise me in the slightest what Sam was going to do. But we very quickly get our Ru walkthroughs with everyone. We don't see the conversations with everyone, but all 12 of them are shown. What stood out to us as far as the walkthroughs were concerned?
So, do you want to go first, David?
Mm-mm.
Okay. When Ru told Hermona, when she was showing like both designs, and Ru kind of hinted into like, hey, you might want to
diversify your
this direction. Yeah, at first. So that I was like kind of foreshadowing as well, because I was like, okay. And then when Ru was talking to Ariete, that was the gag, because she was like, do you feel like you were unjustly in the bottom? Of course, RuPaul already knew the answer to this question. And then Ariete was like, yes and no, and RuPaul was like, bitch, yes.
Yes.
No, it's yes.
Love it.
I live. Clock
Love
it, mother. Yes. But then she asked, like, who do you think should have been in the bottom instead of you? And then Ariete's like, she said exactly what my critique was for last week, which is, she said, I swung big, and I feel like some of the girls didn't even swing at all. And then she pointed to Crystal, which I was like, yes, actually, I agree with that. But yeah, I feel like 5 other people could have been in the bottom instead of Ariete last week. For me. But that was funny that she did that in front of Ru. Like, that's nerve. I love that.
And then I'm
sure Ru loved that.
And I love that after they were done, Crystal was like, Ariete, you think I should have been in the bottom? And she's like, yes, I do. Oh, and what was your runway? Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. And I was like, oh.
Exactly.
I
was like, I said what I said, and period. And I love that.
Lived.
You know, and Crystal probably hated that, because Crystal hates things. Well, if you know, you know.
Yes.
Well, yes.
Yes.
I loved when Susie and Lydia popped over. No, when Susie and Lana popped over, or Susie and Lydia popped over, and they were literally wearing the same black tank top.
Mm-hmm.
And we was like, y'all can go on tour together. And Lydia's like, yep, as sickly Victorian children. Absolutely. But honestly, Toot and Butthole, that's a great 2-woman show. I'm sorry. Toot and Butthole.
Right.
Toot and Butthole. Y'all can have that one. Just pay me some residuals for the name. Thank you very much.
Butthole Toots. I like that.
I like
Butthole Toots. But,
toot the butthole.
Because a butthole toots, you know?
Yes, that's why it's Tootin' Butthole.
Oh, that makes it sound like toot in butthole.
But it's
I said what?
Apostrophe N. Butthole. Anyway.
Okay.
We gotta anyway. We gotta talk about Lana. Because Lana is Lana's like, I've been a little bit plucked to be safe. I've really just been wanting some critiques. I'm a little bit worried about flying under the radar and being safe. And Ru gags her a bit for sure by going, oh yeah, no. Well, I think back to your Monopulence look, and the judges almost put you in the bottom for that because the finishings were not that great. Gagged her a bit for sure, mother.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And RuPaul just proved what I had been kind of thinking about, which is Lana did not want to get critiques. She wanted to be praised.
Yep.
That's it. She did not want constructive criticism. She just wanted to be praised for what she has done, which I don't think she's been doing a horrible job. But I feel
nothing wrong with that either.
Exactly. But like it's very similar to what happened when she asked Joella a direct question and was mad that Joella answered honestly. Like it's, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I like Lana, but her attitude is giving very much early 20s, which is normal, but it's just not really the most fun thing to watch on TV.
I really like Lana. I think she's very relatable. Like it makes I think she's like me, and her love language is words of affirmation. And she needs that. She needs the self-reassurance. She needs that from other people. So I completely relate to her. And yeah, I could understand, like, if I'm asking somebody's opinion and they spin it and make it negative about me, I'd be like, oh, well, that sucked. Like, that's not fun. So this episode, and especially Untucked, actually like really endeared me to Lana even more than I already was, just because like I see myself in her a little bit.
I think there's also with Lana, I think Lana's a very interesting case so far on this season, because and this hasn't been verbalized, I don't believe, on the show or by her in any capacity, but I feel like knowing that your mother did so well on her season, so immediately on her season, I feel like there's got to be that level of pressure of like, I need to make sure that I'm doing as good as Lux did. Like people have an expectation of Lana. People have been waiting to see Lana on TV now for a couple of years. There's a lot of pressure on her going into the show, and she is not delivering at all the way that she expected to. And I think more than like, and some people have called out like drag delusion or whatever. I think more than that, there's just a lot of pressure on her, more than some of these other girls in the competition. I'll say that much. And I just think it's all kind of weighing on her a little bit. And then to get the critique of, oh, well, you were almost in the bottom a couple of weeks ago. I'm intrigued to see what she's going to do moving forward after this week. That's what I'll say. I don't know. At this point, I'm going to be honest. I like Lana. I don't know how much more we're going to see from Lana. I got to be honest. I'm worried.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't feel like I've seen much. Like I still have I don't really know who Lana is. Like I like her, what she's been doing in the competition. So like she's middle of the pack for me, but like I like her energy, and she's like more laid back. It's very different from Lux that was like very outspoken. And I have no problem with that. I'm just like, to me, Lana's storyline is not entertaining to watch on TV. It's not adding anything to the show for me, even though I like her. But I mean, on the show, it's not translating as well, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like I don't like, to a certain degree, to see someone show that they are very insecure but are pretending to be confident. Like that's not fun. I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
In other news, Sam's godfather, Charles Barkley.
What?
Gag. Gag.
Huh?
Didn't see that coming.
Not at all.
But honestly, that is so cool. Like I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And then I went looking online to see if like he's ever said anything about our world, basically. And then there's a video of him saying that he loves gay and trans people, and that if anyone tells you that they don't, they can fuck off.
Good for him.
Something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but like he was very like, I love y'all, and if anyone comes for you, you can tell them that Charles Barkley said to fuck off.
Ally.
I live.
Ally. I live.
A man with the power and status that he has saying that, especially right now, is very important. So I love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're doing our thing. We're doing our thing in the workroom, and people are making their garments, and time to talk about spray paint gate. So we see Lexi has left her tarp that she is making her garment out of outside. She had spray painted it. Obviously, they're doing their thing.
Can I just say before we get into it, as soon as this segment starts and they show it laying down there, I'm like, oh, it is so obvious what happened. It is so clearly obvious that somebody just thought that was a tarp.
Well, yeah, because
it just looks like a tarp there.
Because it's just a tarp. It's just a tarp. But yes, we see that someone has spray painted several different colors onto her tarp. She comes into the workroom crying, panicking, asking, and this was the clip we saw in the preview for last week, who fucked up my garment? And not only does no one say anyone in this moment, but some of the girls are laughing. Some of the girls are thinking she's joking. And I'm like, where? Like, I'm sorry. I understand the age of some of these people in this competition, but the immaturity level that went on in this entire situation, in this moment, is what pressed me the most. I was like, when someone comes in crying and panicking over something that's going on in this competition, and the immediate response is, oh, I thought she was kidding. Oh, I'm just going to laugh it off. I thought she was kidding. The fuck?
I mean, it would make sense if Lexi had done something similar to that before that we didn't see, like with that playing around with them. That would make sense to me. That like if she had done that before as a joke or something similar, that they would think that. That makes sense. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like maybe for them it was just they were like all focused on doing their thing and mostly silent, and like someone comes in screaming. Maybe it was just like the shock. And then because it was so shocking, some of the girls thought she was kidding. But when they realized that she wasn't, they were all like worried and wanting to help find out who did it and to get it all sorted, you know?
And I appreciated
it was just like a first reaction, which I understand.
Yeah.
But like after that, when they realized it was serious, they were all, well, most of them were trying to help figure it all out.
Yeah. I think if I were there in their position and she comes in saying, oh, who sabotaged my look? I think for me, is it more realistic for me to think this is a bit, this is a joke, or that we have a person in the competition that is actively trying to sabotage somebody in a challenge? I would not think that. And that's not what happened either. So
no.
I get why.
I mean, not on purpose.
Yeah, nobody was actively trying to sabotage. And that's that's the point. Is she came in making it sound like that. And so I understand that people would think it was a joke. Like, I hold that against them 0%.
See, but what she said was, who ruined my outfit?
My garment.
And here's the thing. If it was on purpose or accident, the person that did that did ruin her outfit. Mm-hmm. So she was, and then after, I don't remember exactly, but maybe after she kind of talked about sabotage. But when she came in, she just said, my outfit is ruined. Who did it?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's
and
a bad
then she didn't
person
know,
for their
but
brain
that's the thing
immediately going that direction, though.
When
like, if that's how your brain works, that you think it's a joke, that doesn't make you a bad person. That's just how your brain works.
Right.
I just think it's immature. Frankly, I understand and I agree with you. I just think it's immature. And my immediate response would be like, what happened? I wouldn't be joking about it. I wouldn't be thinking that she's joking about it. Like, that's just not where I would have gone personally. Mm-hmm. I would have asked.
It's hard to say until you're in this situation, though. You know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I see it, but also like I also feel like it's a little bit like, okay, I would have handled it differently. But I mean, they are like in their early 20s, so they are immature. to a,
And I thought
to a
they were
certain point. So,
mostly
and that's
just
fine.
looking. Maybe looking and smiling a little bit. I didn't think they were doing anything uncalled for. Maybe I'd have to
Or like
rewatch.
making fun of her or anything. No. Yeah.
Fair.
But what I do feel like is it's like when a person comes in like that, she's asking a question. She didn't say that it was on purpose. She didn't say anything. She just said, this happened. Who did it? And here's the thing. They have limited time to make these outfits. The sooner she finds out what happened and how she can fix it, the better. So if it really, first of all, if it really was on accident, which I believe it was, but why was Anya not fazed at all when Lexi came in screaming? She didn't seem surprised. She didn't seem shocked. It seemed like she was like, oh, it seemed like she knew what she had done, but I don't think it was on purpose. But I feel like she knew it had happened and she didn't tell Lexi. She let Lexi see it and then come in doing that and then deciding not to say anything and pretending that it's not with you and like literally turning your back and not saying anything because, and here's the thing, I believe that it was not on purpose, but exactly because it wasn't on purpose is the reason why you should not be afraid to say something immediately. And if it was on accident and you feel bad for ruining your sister's outfit, why would you not want to apologize immediately? Is my point. That's all.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, obviously the issue is resolved. They resolved it literally the next day in the workroom, so none of this particularly matters. I do absolutely agree with you, though. I was very frustrated with Anya in this moment, and I've loved Anya up until this point. This really frustrated me. And if this was an isolated incident too, I wouldn't feel a little bit more of a certain kind of way. But we've seen this happen in a design challenge before, where something has happened, and Anya's been involved. I'm not saying Anya is a bad person. I'm not shading Anya. I'm not doing any of that kind of stuff. It just frustrated me in this moment as a viewer and as a person. Just why aren't like, and I also understand her side, and we've seen her talk about it before on the season of like, I don't know these girls, like my guard is still up a little bit. It just, I wouldn't have reacted that way. That's not how I would have reacted if I knew it happened and I knew it was an accident and I realized it. I would have gone to her immediately and said something about it. And I do appreciate as well, on the flip side of this, when Arietti, when Lexi comes back out and Arietti is, when Lexi is able to explain what happened, Arietti immediately was like, oh, well, the light blue was me. It was a mistake.
Immediately.
I'm sorry. Immediately.
And didn't throw anybody else under the bus. I appreciated that too.
Exactly.
No, she was like, this part was me. I apologize. I didn't realize what was happening. Boom, done. And I appreciated Arietti for that.
And she let Lexi figure out that the brown part was Anya without throwing Anya under the bus. Like she just let Lexi figure it out. And here's the thing, just to kind of, my real problem with all of this is the way Anya handled the situation. Because I honestly don't believe that she's a bad person that is trying to sabotage everyone. Like, I don't believe that at all.
No.
It's just the way that she handled this situation and the last one are very similar. And like at the end, she was screaming and cursing at Lexi for bringing it up. And I'm like, okay, you did something on accident. The person is trying to hold you accountable and then you're mad at them. Oh no, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah. Here's what I will say. Like, this is hindsight is 2020, and I'm sure both of them would agree. I do think as soon as they realized what they were doing, Arietti and Anya should have gone and told her. Did they do that? No. But if I'm in Anya's position and I've already messed up by not telling, and I'm in the workroom working on my outfit, and then she comes in yelling, upset, there is no way that I'm going to be like, yeah, it was me in that moment. I'm going to wait till you calm down a little bit. So I do not blame her for not speaking up in that moment. It's just hard. Like when you know your intentions and somebody's actively like furious at you, I can get just being a little bit hesitant to get involved in any aspect of that. So did she handle it the best way? Absolutely not. But in some weird way, I see where she's coming from.
I see it for sure. When Lexi's coming in saying, I just need to know who did it. Like, I just need that resolution in order for my brain to then process that and then move on to the next part of, okay, now what do I do with this garment that I have to make for this challenge, for this thing where I'm in this competition. I'm not trying to get eliminated. I understand Lexi, like the way that Lexi's brain processed this situation is very much so the way that I would have processed it, where like I need that resolution. I need to see what's right in front of my face and I need to resolve that before I can then break down that hurdle and move to the next hurdle of, okay, now what do I do with this garment? And that's the way that, yeah, exactly. And it's like, I want resolution on this, tie a bow, move on, not focus on this, refocus on what's happening. And I think they were both just a little tunnel vision on their own specific things that were going on. Lexi being trying to resolve what happened in the situation, Anya on not wanting to upset her even further and being, and I'm going to say this word and I don't mean it in a negative context here, but being self-centered and focusing on her own garment and her own challenge performance. Like I see where both of them come from. Obviously, we get them coming back into the workroom the next day. They resolve the issue. It's all love here. So none of that really matters. But
I did think it was really funny, though, because I just said on the podcast last week, and it's still true. I'm like, oh, my favorites in the season are Lexi, Anya, and Arietti. And I'm like, oh, my 3 faves all involved in Spray Paint Gate. And I still love all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, just to close this up. I understand also where Anya is coming from, but just because I understand it doesn't mean I have to like it. So I'll say that. I understand. I just do not like it. I don't like it. I have been treated and people have reacted to me bringing something that they did in that same way. And it's very frustrating when it's happening to you. So I get it. But here's the thing. I still really like Anya on this season. But these situations, like, it's weird that it happened twice. It is weird that it has happened twice. I will say that. And it's just, I'm not going to be biased while watching this season, but that does kind of stand in the way of Anya being one of my favorites from the season. I'm still enjoying her, the drag and the talent, but I'm enjoying her less as a character on the show as time goes by. She's still eating them up, though. She's still like absolutely the competition. Period.
She's on your notice list, right?
She's on my nerve.
on her nerve. No, I think what it comes down to is Anya has been very guarded in this competition. She said that before. She is not the, I'm going to immediately kiki with these girls I don't know. And at this point, they've been in the competition for what? At most 2 weeks. Like 2.5 weeks at this point. I understand her still having guards up. Like, she still doesn't really know these people. So I understand her, you know, being, maybe for a lack of a better term, a little standoffish. I get it. I understand it. But that's pretty much most of what we got in the New Day in the Workroom. Lexi and Sam, after the Spray Paint Gate situation is resolved, they're talking about who they think is potentially in trouble. They both agree they think Acacia's in trouble. Corey walks on over and she involves herself in the conversation, and I lived for it. And she's like, felt on a corset? Did she smoke a bowl before she made this? And I was like, period.
I mean, that was very brave given what she was wearing, but
not too much.
I mean, talk about the outfit, baby. Are you going to defend that outfit? Because then we got to talk.
Not fully.
I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
I think some people did worse in their designed look than she did. We'll talk about it. But, yeah, that's basically it. So, I think, personally for me, we should go to the rundown.
I object.
How dare you? Doing something different this week. We're just showing Michelle and Rue to start. And I think Rue looks lovely.
I like this. I like the texture. Yeah, I thought this was one of her better looks so far this season.
The way that this, because it's that like mermaid fishtail sequin. I love the way that it's kind of like black around the edges and then kind of fades into the silver throughout the garment, but then there's like little bits of black going on. I think it's a really, really well done garment. The hair looks great.
Different sizes, no? Like the sequin here is like a little bit bigger.
Yeah, there's like a bigger sequin here. And,
okay.
Yeah, no, there's a bigger like paillette going on across the like the bustier and the shoulder, and then it's this kind of like smaller silver to black sequin going on for the rest of the gown. Yeah, it's simple, it's solid, it's RuPaul. I'm not too mad at it.
I like this hair. I like when she does big hair. But I do love the dress. I just wish the slit was on the other side, so it went from like shoulder to then the slit. You know what I mean? But that's,
I agree with that.
You know.
I agree with that.
And Michelle looks great.
Michelle looks great. She doesn't have to change this week. She can just wear this beautiful black dress the whole time. I live for it. I lived for it. Yeah, I think they both look great. Now, I couldn't pass up. I saw this photo of La Roche, and I could not pass up using this photo because La Roche is back.
Yay.
Thrilled. And officially, as of this week, a rotating judge for season 17 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Love it. Yes.
I know on at least 2 episodes, but I'm hoping for at least 3.
We'll see. But no, I love Law. I think one of the best decisions that Drag Race has made in years is adding T.S. Madison to the permanent judging panel. And I think the other best decision they have made in the last couple of years is adding La Roche as a rotating guest judge. Because, A, we lost Legendary. And we all know how incredible he was on Legendary. But B, he's just such a good judge in the way of uplifting the queens, giving genuine, good critiques, and being real about the situation. Like, some of these garments are good. Some of these garments are not good. He's going to be honest about it, but he's going to present it in a way that is constructive for the girls. And not all of the judges that we get do that. So,
and he's he knows how to be shady in the correct way for me, for a judge. Because you don't want to go too hard, but you can, like, he plays with the girls. It's like playful shade. I like it. I don't know. I'm so happy. I'm so happy they made this choice. I'm so Can
excited.
I just say on that note, because you mentioned TS, because she was like the best addition to the show. I've been thinking, when or if RuPaul ever gets replaced as the host, to me, for US, it needs to be T.S. Madison hosting. To me, I feel like that would really work, and it would give the show a very different air, you know.
Okay.
She really, I don't know.
I think if it's not a previous contestant, I think I would like to see it be Maddie. There's a couple of other people I would have before her, I'll be honest, just like on first thought, because I'd never really thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
She is a great host. We've seen her be a great host for Bring Back My Girls. Like,
that's what I was binge watching Bring Back My Girls, and that's why I thought about this.
Fair,
like,
she's incredibly charismatic. She's very knowledgeable. I think there are a couple of other, specifically, I'll say Drag Race winners, that I think would do a better job, just off of first impression. I mean, I think number one on my list is Sasha Colby.
Oh, okay.
I do think I do think at this point, the two best options that we would have would either be Sasha Colby or Bob the Drag Queen. That's just me personally.
I don't see Sasha because I do love her, but like when for example when she was on Down Under, I was like, oh, that was so underwhelming. Like, I love you, girl, but like I don't know. But Bob for sure, for sure. Or I think it should be when we have like more global seasons, like maybe a winner of global, or like maybe an All Stars winner.
Edward's Drag Race.
I was gonna say
no.
I don't know. I don't know.
I would
I
be here
would
for
love.
it.
I think Alyssa would be an interesting choice. I think Alyssa would be a peculiar choice.
I think Alyssa could be a like the choreographer, like the standby choreographer instead of Jamal. Like could be Alyssa or Laganja. Like I would love to see more queens involved in behind the scenes and like coaching and mentoring and stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Love Rush.
Yep.
Love.
Now we just need Naomi on as a guest judge sometime.
Period, please. But speaking of our guest judge, I also saw this photo and said, I can't pass up the opportunity to show off this gorgeous fucking photo of Hunter Schafer, who my favorite guest judge so far this season, and one of my favorite guest judges we've seen on Drag Race in a minute. I think she was absolutely spectacular, the absolute sweetest. She brought so much fun and so many good jokes to the runway portion. I mean, her very first line, did anyone order tilapia? I mean, she knows the show. She knows what she was here to do.
The doors Gia has opened.
The doors Gia Gunn has opened. Truly, girl.
What privilege.
No, I love what privilege. What privilege indeed to see Hunter Schafer in vintage Jean-Paul Gaultier on this runway, period, point blank. I loved every moment of it.
Are you all familiar with her before this?
I had no clue who this woman was.
Okay.
By name.
I know she was.
Euphoria.
I knew she was
an
an actress from Euphoria. That's it. And that she was a trans actress, and that's all.
Yeah. I've only seen her in Cuckoo, which is a horror movie that came out last year, and she's so good in that. And I love that the character, it was never even addressed that she was trans. In fact, her character was trying to get impregnated by this creature. So I think she was supposed to play a cis woman, and I love that.
Period. I love that. I love that.
She looks fabulous.
Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely. So we have our ball. Obviously, we're going to talk about the looks over on Look Over Here, but we had our three categories being Bathing Beauties, Sea Creature Couture, and Sea Sickening Eleganza. Do we want to talk a little bit about the looks themselves, our overall impressions on tops and bottoms, the judging, things like that?
What do you think about favorite and least favorite look from each category?
That's exactly what I like
that.
thinking.
Okay. I like that a lot. Yeah, absolutely. River,
do you want to start, David?
Oh,
yeah.
Well.
Sure. Sure, I can start.
Go for it, David.
Yeah,
I'm I gotta look through my notes.
I had a pretty clear favorite for the Let's Get Sickening or the Bathing Beauties category. And honestly, I'm going to look side-eye at anybody who does not have this as their favorite. But for me, it was Arietti. I just really, really love that look. I thought it was just not it really felt like a lot of the queens for this category didn't even realize this was going to be a runway theme. And they're like, this might be a mini challenge, because some of them were just so basic. And this might be one of my least favorite runway categories I've seen on the main franchise of Drag Race and Wild, just because so many of them were just blah. But this showed that ingenuity that I would expect from Arietti. On the other side of the coin, and I cannot remember what it looks like right now, but Jules did not like hers at all. Did not like it. Can't even think of what it was, but it's
it was gold with the chains around it.
My lowest score of the entire ball.
Same.
Okay. Yeah, I also didn't like that look, but my I'll start with my least favorite. My least favorite was Lydia. I can't.
Yeah.
The only thing that I liked was the fabric that she used. Literally. And I don't like this category. I wish it was resort, cruise themed, something that gave them more of an opportunity to wear something other than a bikini. So it wasn't as underwhelming. But Arietti for sure and by far was the best one. She was the only person that didn't go obvious with it, that some people had references, right? But the looks itself were still too simple, even if the reference was good. This was Avatar Sex Goddess. Perfection. The makeup,
Yeah, my least favorite was also Jules. Jules in this runway had my least favorite of the entire ball as well. I do agree with David. I actually have a tie as far as my scores are concerned for my top for this between Ariete. Don't worry, Ariete's in there. But I also have Anya. I actually really liked Anya's ensemble. I think she elevated it beyond just a bathing suit, and I'll talk about it more on Look Over Here, but I really, really liked the way that the bodysuit fit her, and I think the presentation was really good. And I'm going to give, because she was my third in this runway, an honorable mention to Corey, because I do think it was a very well executed look, and the reference was fun.
See, I think for me, Lexi was easily my number 2. So okay. I kept waiting for you to say Lexi, but you didn't.
I didn't.
That's okay.
The way my second favorite was Acacia. Like, literally, I don't understand why they were reading that look so much. Anyway, the fit, sure. Everything else, anyway, I was mad.
I agree with you on that. Anyway.
And I like Susie, too, in this category.
Susie was good in this category.
Okay, that's crazy. Let's move on, please. That's insane.
Susie was...
That is wild.
You can't take her... You can't take her in her man dressed as a woman, dressed as a man runway. And that's
I actually like the idea. It's just that I thought it was really ugly. That's all. But I love Susie. Truly.
Not either of y'all not getting the reference I made. All right, let's move on.
Oh. Well,
okay.
I literally made a reference to last week in Untucked when she was like, y'all can't stand me in my clown run. Let's talk about.
But I can take her. I would actually love to take her, if you know what I mean. Hello. She wouldn't. No.
Sea Creature Couture, David.
Okay, so this category, I think almost every look in Sea Creature Couture was better than almost every look in the Bathing Beauties category.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
But once again, like, if your favorite look was not Ariete, I don't understand, because this is my favorite look of the year so far. It's so good. The lionfish, like, I've been wanting to see a lionfish runway like this, and she did not disappoint. It was so cool. This might be a contender for end of year list as well. On the other side, and I don't think any of them were bad by any means, my lowest score was Lydia, and once again, I don't remember what it was. Like, it's clearly, if it's forgettable, then it's my lowest score. But it really...
she did the anglerfish jockey.
She
had like a puppet thing.
Oh yeah. It was very crafty. It still was not bad. It was just like a little too crafty for me. Like, I wanted to feel like she paid to have that made,
or at least looks like it was. To me, absolutely. Ariete had my favorite. This was my favorite look of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go back at the looks from this season, but I'm pretty sure this is my favorite look of the season. If not, top 5 for sure, or top 3. But my least favorite was Hermona, because it was just a beautiful gown.
It was really pretty.
And the colors of the animal, like, it was just a gown. Like, to me, that did not fit the brief. So it was my least favorite.
Funny enough, I once again tied for my favorite in this category between Ariete and someone.
Who?
I know. I'm shocked. They're just as good to you? Or is it like maybe they're the same score, but so one you like better?
No, I have the exact same score because there were 2 looks in this category that really blew me away, and it was Ariete and Jules, actually. I loved Jules' look. This is my favorite thing Jules has worn on the runway so far this season.
Oh, it was my second highest score for the category.
I loved it. Okay, well then don't give me all of that, David.
It was 11 points behind Ariete.
Okay, well then our scoring is clearly, obviously, as we all know, different.
Right.
It is?
What?
Right. Like, hello.
And my lowest in this category was Acacia.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Simply because I think everyone else matched their reference to a T and Acacia was the only one that didn't even do the color palette of what she was doing. So that's what separated it for me. Because my second lowest is also Hormona. I do agree with you, River. But at least she had the color palette. And that brought it a little
I have
bit
the opposite. Like, I have Hormona as my least, and then Acacia right after her. Because it wasn't giving sea creature. It was a good look, but it didn't give sea, ocean. Maybe if it was blue, like, why was it red? Anyway.
And then our last category, Sea Sickening Eleganza.
Yeah, for me, this was a little bit more competitive. There were a few that I liked, and they were all pretty close. But for me, actually, the 3 highest scores I had for this category were the tops of the week. But my favorite, and I think it's because I liked seeing the material in it and seeing the trash, was Samstar. I just thought it was really cool. It was a creative silhouette. I like the texture.
Guys, I'm leaving.
Okay.
This is it's the first time that I have been so shocked by y'all's opinion. Like it's the first time that I've been so like, wow.
I'm happy that you're shocked. But yeah, I just thought it was like, it reminded me of like a princess, like a trash princess, like made out of, I don't know. I thought it was good. But on the other end, and I know this is probably going to drive River wild too, because in my brain I was trying to justify how can I not have this as my least favorite? But I just could not get into it. It did not work for me. It looked like trash in the wrong way, but I just was not feeling Lexi's look at all. And she was so confident in it, and I'm sure it's high fashion, whatever, and maybe that's not always for me, but
it's not.
I was not into it.
No, I'm not. Lexi was not my least favorite, but I did not like it at all. I like the hair. That's it. No. See, and it's not even because she's on my team, but Ariadne had my favorite look in every category. She really did.
That's
For
fair.
this is like the nails, like every detail had to tell, like, and the fact that it didn't look like she made it, like that looked like she brought it from home. It's wild. Like, so good. So good. And my least favorite was Vanity Milan. I mean, Corey King.
Not too much.
Are you telling me that Corey King was not wearing exactly this?
Oh, no, it was literally that, to the point that she
was literally
tweeted,
this.
"What did y'all think of my look this week?" And it was the Vanity Milan photo. No, of course.
Exactly. So, yeah, it was my least favorite, not because it wasn't original, but because it wasn't original and it was referencing a bad look. Like, it just was bad.
It's a better version, though. And what if I said
It's
that
a
was
better
in my
version
top?
of what Vanity made. It's
What
a
if I
better
said that was
version
in
of
my
what
top
Vanity
half?
made.
Okay.
It was in my top half of the made looks.
So my favorite in this category was also Ariadne. I think Ariadne did the damn thing here. For all the reasons that you said as well, River. My honorable mention, I will say, because I think Crystal absolutely slayed this category. Crystal did such a phenomenal job with this category. My least favorite is also Lexi.
Oh.
Okay.
It was a couple of points apart for me between Lexi and Lydia, actually. I didn't particularly love either of them. Which sucks because I love Lexi, but
Lana was the one that was just barely above.
Lana's down there too.
Yeah.
Lana's down there for me.
Hormonal.
Corey is down there for me. Don't worry. It's not a great garment, but it was something. Yeah, I thought the girls either did pretty damn good in this category or really not that great in this last category.
It just goes to show that these girls are talented, but they are not used to creating things with unconventional materials, because when they had fabric to work with, like, it was nobody flopped. No one was like absolutely horrible. Like,
well, Lucky did.
Yeah, Lucky and Joella, like, but it was not as bad as this. You know what I mean? Like, they were still able to. Everyone had something kind of presentable and serviceable.
Except for Lucky.
Except for Lucky. But yeah.
I want to talk also
this
about.
was not a great ball. Like overall.
No, it wasn't, unfortunately.
It was not.
And for a season that's been touted with so many fashion girls, it's like, oh, most of you fashion girls really should reconsider what it means to be a fashion girl and maybe step it up a little bit.
Yeah. It wasn't horrible by any means, but it was not like we've had. I mean, anyway, I'm thinking of the ball from season 1 of Brazil, and I'm just like, nothing. It's going to be really hard to.
Oh, I'm thinking of the ball from All Stars 9.
Also that.
And the ball from All Stars 8.
Well,
not the ball from All Stars 7. That was a great ball. But I want to talk a little bit about the judging, because there were 2 moments that I really, really loved in the judging, both of them involving Laura. Shocker. The first one being when he called Sam's look Colombian cocaine couture. Only
visually, when he said it, I was like, yes.
I can't see anything else. And only he could get away with that on the main stage of RuPaul's Drag Race. Genuinely.
But like, was he wrong though?
No, not at all.
Exactly.
Absolutely not wrong at all. I loved it. And then him having a whole moment with Lana, just being like, I need you, basically without saying it, being like, girl, I need you to step your pussy up and represent for the girls. Like, you need to, your posture is not it. You're standing here with your hands. You look defeated. It felt very like Cher and Moonstruck. Snap out of it. Like, it felt very that for me. And I loved it.
Yep.
It's very like, I'm rooting for you. Like,
I'm rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
But I agree. Like, what did you think of that critique? Because when he said it, I was like, actually, that makes total sense. I agree fully.
Spot on.
Because like Lana is very talented, but she is, I don't know. Like she's saying that she's confident, but she's not able. That's not translating.
I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
But.
And she should be confident because she's beautiful and talented. Like,
she's Lana Del Rey. She should be. Right. I just think, like I was talking about earlier, I just think she's had so much pressure on her and she hasn't immediately succeeded in the competition, and it's getting in her head. And
also her mother is known for being like one of the most confident queens that we've seen in a while. So like it's
literally.
Yeah.
But Untucked was fine.
Uneventful.
Very uneventful.
All, for the runway and the results, I was literally screaming, how is Corey safe? I was like, what?
Oh.
Because she did a serviceable job in all 3 categories on this show.
I mean, I'm just saying, I was a little shocked.
She was perfectly safe to me. In fact, I think this might be one of the rare instances where I think I agreed with every single bit of judging from this episode. Even though, like I told you who had my least favorite in each category, and it was Jules, Lydia, and Lexi, who all were safe. But I think even though they all 3 had lows, I felt like they had enough highs to make up for those. While the 3 people that were in the bottom, none of them had a standout look to me personally. So that's why I would have had those 3 as the bottom. But I do think it was clearly like Acacia was the safe one out of those. And then, of course, Ariete had to win based on her overall package. The only person, and this is going to blow River's mind, the only person I might have switched out is maybe switch Sam out for Susie, because I actually liked all 3 of her looks.
If we're talking about the judging at this point, I think I personally... I mean, this might come as a bit of a surprise, but I think I liked overall what Hormona did more than Lydia. And I actually think I would have had Lydia low. And I would have had Lana and Acacia in the bottom.
Yeah, Lydia would have been
Because-
bottom 4 for me.
I wasn't wowed by anything Lydia did in this at all, really. So
Yeah, I think for me, the bottom, I would have switched Acacia for Corey, but then I would have Hermona and Lana there as well. And I also didn't like Jules' first look, but the other two were good. So like maybe I would have had Jules instead of Sam. Maybe. I didn't like Sam's last look, and so I was like, either or.
Jules gave 2 phenomenal looks in the second and third category of this ball that I was like, girl, you could have come out. I needed you to come out in anything else for that first category. Anything else. Right. And I could have justified putting her in the top. Anything else.
I think it's just because I didn't like Sam's design. Maybe that's why I would have maybe switched. Yeah.
Fair. I don't want to skip over all of Untucked because my favorite part was Hunter coming in.
Yes.
That was really like the only big moment for me. Thank you, Sam, because I know Lexi wasn't going to say it herself. Thank you, Sam, for going, oh, we have a big fan in the room, Miss Lexi Love. Lexi in this Untucked, adorable, so relatable, and like, I love that she was able to have her like fangirl moment of fully being like, what the fuck is going on? Like meeting an idol of hers. And I just hope that so far in this season and for years to come, she gets to have that same experience with people meeting her and telling her how much that she means to them, because like I don't know if she understands just how special she is and like the amount of stories she's already told, and like learning more about her outside of the show too. Like I feel very kindred to Lexi, knowing her story. We haven't heard about it yet on the show. I'm curious if we will, but knowing so much more about Lexi is just making me fall even more in love with Lexi than I already was. And I hope that she's able to get this moment for the rest of her life of people coming to her and telling her how much she means to them. Because I know the moment that I get to, I'm going to do the same thing. Like, she means so much to us, especially right now, that like I hope she's able to relish in those moments and have that same moment that she had with Hunter here, because it was absolutely incredible and I loved it.
I did think it was kind of funny though, because her outward excitement level was like at a 2, and I'm like, if Sam didn't tell Hunter that she was a big fan of hers, like Hunter never would have believed that, because Lexi was like, oh yeah, hi, yeah. I'm like, girl, show some excitement. But I get it. I probably might be.
I think she was still just in shock about being being safe, because her entire emotion and physicality throughout this Untucked, I was a little bit like, I can't tell whether she's relieved, gratified, upset that she wasn't in the top, grateful to be safe. Like, I don't know what the emotion was. I hope we hear a little bit more about it from her next
Can I say what I think it was? And you're going to understand what I'm saying? It's just, I feel like she was just feeling overwhelmed. And overstimulated by going through the whole process of
wildly
being mad at Anya and then not being mad. And then like everything was just so emotionally and physically exhausting.
That's what I think it is too. Yeah.
That's what I think. And then getting to meet your idol like right after going through all of, like, it's too much. It's too much all at once, I think.
And I felt like Hunter also must have like been like, she's one of me, because immediately after this, she's like,
the doll table.
Are there any dolls here?
The doll table.
I
love also that both Lexi and Hormona got to have that moment too, and Hormona talked about it in confessional too. I was like, I love it. I love every moment of it.
I just wanted to add from what you were saying, how much you love Lexi Love, because same. But like another reason is a lot of the Ru girls say to other Ru girls that the race starts when Drag Race finishes. Yeah. And on that note, I want to say that for me personally, I pay attention to what the girls do with the platform that they are given after this show, and what you do and how you decide to use your platform, to me, matters the most, or matters more than what you do on the show and how entertaining you are. And so that's why, to anyone watching, that is why I do not like Corey, Jules, Joella, because of how they decided to use their platform. I like them on the show. I think they are talented, beautiful, entertaining, and I hope they have
All of them?
everything beautiful in life. Yes, in their own way. I'm not not too much. But I already love Lexi, but seeing the way that she's using her platform to do good things and not to be self-serving, I appreciate even more. That's all.
Agreed.
Agreed. Let's talk about our results. So we get our top 3 as Sam, Arietti, and Crystal. Nobody was winning this challenge other than Arietti, though. Point blank and the period, she did the best, and she won.
I just wanted to mention, because we didn't, like, the way that she changed her makeup from, like,
Oh
and it was
my
not like a simple makeup. It was just like, the talent is...
To the point, also, I love that Susie on Twitter was like, yeah, I was kind of gagged seeing how she changed her makeup. And like, they only got like 20 to 30 minutes between runways to change. Like,
wild.
I love her.
The talent, immeasurable. Ugh.
Yeah, I hope this is a big momentum shift for her, because I would love to see her in the finale. Like, I don't want to go an episode without seeing her looks, because she's by far my favorite look queen this season. I'm sure Lucky could have given her a run for the money, but yeah, I love Arietti.
I'm just worried about her well-roundedness. I think that I'm just worried. I'm worried when we get to a late season acting challenge. I'm worried.
I hope
you
that
can't
she makes
say
the
that you
best
don't agree,
choices.
David.
I am worried, but
yeah,
depending on if there's an acting challenge, like the character that she chooses to play, I feel like that is a big factor into if she's going to do well or not. But I am worried, low-key. I mean, we got to take into consideration what has already happened. Like, we have information, so...
True, but nothing disaster. I don't think she's had any disastrous moments. Like, she's had low points, but nothing terrible. So,
yeah.
Our bottom 3 is Lana, Hormona, and Acacia. We talked about what we already would have done, but we do end up with a bottom 2 of Hormona and Lana.
Deserved.
From the people that were in the bottom, I agree.
I still think of the people in the bottom, I would have put Acacia in the bottom over Hormona personally.
Okay.
I think what Hormona did was safe, was a little boring, but was clean and well executed. And I think if I'm directly comparing what Hormona did to what Acacia did, I prefer what Hormona did. And that's just me personally. But
I don't know, especially after last week on this podcast, I'm like, we're getting a lot of the same silhouette from her. And then we see the same thing, and she almost made another one. She almost had 2 of the same silhouette in this.
And you know why I agree? Because I understand where you were coming from, Logan. I get it. But to me, her Mona Lisa is polished and clean, but there's no vision. What's the point of view? There's no point of view. Acacia is not perfection. It is not as clean and polished, but she has a point of view. She has an idea. Like, you know what I mean? There's more.
No, I agree with you completely. But Hormona and Lana lip sync to Get Him Back by Olivia Rodrigo. It was fine.
I was just like, maybe it's because I didn't like this song. I was just like, this is not a good lip sync song.
Really?
I never heard it. It was the first time, but I was like, why is this a lip sync song? It is not. It does.
Because she's popular. Like, that's literally what it is.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, I think both of them did the best that they could with this song, but it's not. Every time we've gotten Olivia Rodrigo on Drag Race, it's been a perfectly acceptable lip sync. Like,
they need to do
I disagree. I thought it was bad both times.
I want to see them do Obsessed as a lip sync in season 18. That would be fun.
I want to see them do Vampire. I think Vampire is a song that actually could, like, you can put some emotion into it and you can emote, and there's a lot of potential for it. But regardless, I think they did the best that they could. I do agree with the winner. I do think Lana gave a little bit more than Hormona did. Hormona dropped a couple of the lyrics, especially early on in the song, which then I found funny that we got a confessional from Susie going, well, Hormona's got the angst and the anger and she knows all the words. And I'm like, no, she don't, Susie, but all right. I mean, again,
I was like, where?
But remember, the girls are only seeing the back of their heads.
Right.
So, like...
True.
Which is a great reference for Perla.
Yes.
Period.
I like what the back of her head was doing.
I like what the back of her head was doing.
But I gotta say, I don't know if it's because we had like the 2 non-eliminations and all of that, but I'm like, to me, if this was a double elimination, I would have understood. I think Lana did a little bit better. Yes. If I were to pick a winner, it would be Lana. But if by the way that RuPaul was looking as well, I was like, is this gonna be a double elimination? Because I could see it. I mean,
I don't think they were gonna do that to Lana this early.
Right. No, I'm just saying, like, with the challenge and the lip sync, I'm like, it would make sense.
And with Hormona saying at the start of the episode that they could have done a double elimination, like, it could have happened.
Exactly.
Have they done one since season 8 besides like UK 3?
Season 14, Deja, and
14.
the other Olivia Rodrigo lip sync.
The literal other Olivia.
Yeah, but that was one
lip-sync.
where they had to, based on the number.
No, but that is okay. But you're asking, was there a double elimination? The answer is yes.
I meant one where nobody wins nobody survives the lip sync is what I meant.
The last time was UK 3. I don't think there have been any others. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a rare occurrence.
Yeah. We lose Hormona.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. I'm sad. Mostly because she's on my
She's sad.
Are you sadness?
I am sadness. I am indeed sadness. I came in blue today. Nobody clocked that, but this was intentional.
Oh, I thought it was great.
Sad.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm wearing blue. Well, the hat is definitely blue. But yeah, I'm sad. I think we're going to lose a lot of personality on the season, but I'm not surprised by her getting eliminated here.
I'm not surprised. I'm not gonna miss seeing her on the runway because it's just like she did well, but it was just like she didn't excite me at all. But I will miss her personality in the workroom and in confessionals. Like, she was just such an entertaining character for this season, and I feel like she added a lot to this season. And I feel like we have enough personalities that it's not going to be like such a big loss in that department, but I really enjoyed what she brought.
Yeah, I will say, like, I did not have the highest expectations from her just because it felt like her being cast was kind of a novelty thing, and it wasn't really based on like, oh, you have a really incredible audition tape. It was more, oh, I like your name. But with that said, I do think she had highs, and I think that she is a very likable personality. And I'm a little sad that she didn't get to outlast Corey King for being such a hater for no apparent reason. So that's
she got the last. She got the last word. I love the way that she exited. That was so iconic to me.
Oh, I loved it.
So, oh my god.
Rotten hell. See you later. Oh,
love you, Corey. Rotten hell.
See you later. No, I lived for it. The problem is, I love both of them, so I'm like, well, I'm not going to sit here and justify why Corey has done these things towards Hormona. I'm not going to say it's good. I'm not going to say that, but
she's just plugged, and it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah. But bye, Hormona.
Bye, Mona.
I'll miss that.
I love that she was pressed every time RuPaul called her that. She was like, this is what I'm going to be called by RuPaul for the rest of my life. Jesus Christ.
She's like, okay, I can't show my parents this because they're like,
right.
Her dad, like a pastor. Something.
Yep, we found that out in this episode.
Right.
Well, Julie.
Oh, I also love just, it was so iconic. First of all, that she leaned into the sadness meme. And when she was at Roscoe's, that she gave them like one of the
Mhm.
bobs, because she has multiple, of course. But the shake and go bob, I live. Iconic.
Definitely.
If we have a drag
Draft
museum,
update.
the bob is going to be in the drag museum.
Oh, 100%. I love
Yeah.
that they have it shelved at Roscoe's now. Like it's
Mhm.
literally just like now I'm like, all right, I got to do my my trip to Roscoe's to go see the Bob, and you know, I live.
Yeah.
Yes, draft update. So I am still in last place with 8 points. Eighth place with 31 points.
I was gonna
I
say,
was like,
what are you
hey.
reading?
No, I have
'Cause
way
that's
better- way more
not
than
the
that.
case, Steve-O.
But Brandon is barely ahead of me with 31 and a half points. So thanks to the mini challenge where I got nothing. But Brandon has lost 2 people and only has Crystal. And I still have 2 people. So I might pass him. Sixth place is Logan with 40.5 points. Fifth place is Sugar with 42.5 points. Fourth place, Lana with 43 points. Third place, River jumps up with 44 points. Second place is Kamorian, 49 points. And first place is Brooke with 57.5 points.
Damn, who's Brooke's team?
Brooke's team is made up of Lexi,
Anya
And Susie?
and
and
Susie.
Susie.
Yep.
Well,
The
fuck
3
our
people that
track.
we were all like, oh yeah, they're probably going to be in the top 4.
Yeah.
I think we can already declare who's gonna win the draft.
Probably.
Safely.
I'm just glad that I'm not like last. This is the best that I've done in
Me
the draft.
too.
So I'm happy for that.
Yay.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not last. Wait.
You are.
Well, it's not over.
And next week, it's Snatch Game.
Woohoo. Hercules,
I'm
Hercules.
worried.
I'm usually excited, but this time I am not, because what they
I'm
showed, I was
worried.
like, oh no.
I'm just worried for Lexi.
Right.
Oh God. I want to understand and know the choice of Lexi playing Gilbert Gottfried.
Who
I
is that
want to
person?
understand.
Please.
He's the parrot in Aladdin.
He was a comedian.
Oh, okay.
He's dead.
He has a very
Um,
infamous voice, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
like
I
the
was
voice-
gonna ask, like, was he the voice of? Okay,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
what?
He's got a very, very distinct voice. And that is probably a lot of the reason why he hasn't been done on Snatch Game before. I'm worried. We got Anya. Hercules. I am intrigued and excited to see what
Mhm.
Anya's going to do. I think the only other person we get a clear shot of is Corey doing Big Ange.
Hmm.
And I'm worried.
I think the we can sum up this Snatch Game with choices.
Choices.
Choices were made.
Choices.
We'll see.
Choices were
We'll
made.
see.
Yep.
I can't
And
wait.
that's where I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Exactly.
With that, we are going to round out this episode. So thank you for joining us for this episode recap for RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17. We will be back next week to talk about episode 7, all things Snatch Game and everything in between. If you want our in-depth discussion on the runway looks from the ball this episode, make sure to go check out our Look Over Here episode, where we will talk all things the ball. In the meantime, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for joining. Let us know all your thoughts down in the comments below. Check out the description where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to Cup Mug. All those links are down in Linktree, so go check that out. And without further ado, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So, cheers!
Cheers.
And don't forget the Ella.
Please forget the Ella.